In 2 Corinthians 4, 8, and 9, and you can go all the way through 16 through 18, it says this: we are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, and struck down, but not destroyed. And here are the definitions. Hard pressed means closely pursued. We are being closely pursued by the enemy every single day in every kind of way. Crushed means to be deformed or pulverized. We are not being deformed or pulverized because that we're being pursued closely by the enemy. Perplexed, which means baffled completely. Sometimes you feel like you just don't even know where you're going, kind of where I feel right now, like what is the next step. Despair, it says, but not in despair, which means the complete loss of hope. As long as there is breath, there is hope. God is in heaven. Jesus is on the throne. I mean, when you think about it, we are baffled, but we have never lost hope when we realize that our hope is in Him. Persecuted, treated unfairly. That happens so often. And we know that we are, but it says this: but not abandoned, not deserted or cast off. And then here's my thing for you. We are struck down, hit hard, and knocked on the ground. But we're not destroyed, which means but an end to or an existence. Isn't that amazing that we can be down, but we're not out? We can be knocked out, knocked down, knocked out of the way. Everything that we're going through right now feels like we're taking it in the gut. It's knocking the breath out of us, but we are not abandoned. We are not forsaken. We are all the things that this scripture says we are, but when you look at the real definition of them, we're not pulverized. We still have hope, even though we don't know and we're confused or concerned or baffled. This scripture is so encouraging me to this morning, and when I started defining those words, I hope that it resonates inside of you, that we may be dealing with all of these things, but we are not the end result of those things. The end of us is in Him. Our hope is in Him. The situation is in Him. The outcome is in Him. He made it available for us to realize that this world is not going to be easy. You're going to deal with people and flesh and wickedness and evil and all these things. But it doesn't determine where we end. What happens is our attitude while we're going through these things, our mindset when we're going through these things, but most importantly, our heart. What is our heart and eyes fixed upon when we're dealing with these things? When you can go to the scripture and say, yes, it says, I am right here, right now. I am baffled. I am perplexed. I am, I am struck down. But I'm not these things because. So, be encouraged. Have hope. Read the scripture. Know who you belong to, and know that because you are all those things does not mean that it's over. Our end is in Him, and His love and His hope and His peace and His mercy and His grace will be sufficient. So even though you are down, you are not out.